Cool. Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome to our panel. My name is Arizona and we're going to get started in the next 30 seconds. So I hope you guys are all seated quite well and nicely. And I hope no one else is counting down this as well, because I just did 30 seconds, it's just like a little thing. Alrighty, so I'm here to introduce to you guys the other streamers who are going to be on this panel with me today. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so the first panelist that we have that's here is here to steal all of your hearts and as sweet as a cherry. It's Cherry Heart. Next panelist, all the way from New Zealand, Let's Play Live legend, is Shinya Oki. Next person sounds just as great as he is, and it's a clear star, it's Marcus Starkstown. Next one, she's as great as her bikes, it is Wolfie. The next person, you better lock yourself up, ladies and gentlemen, it is Benny Barricades.
Oh, and certainly not least, oh my God, the premier New Zealand drag queen herself, the one and only Arizona. Working, yeah. Oh my God. General.
Woo, woo. Camera too.
So, let's get started. So, the whole point of our panel is we're going to expose all of the secrets as to what it means to be a LGBTQIA stream. So, first we're going to start off with some introductions, and we're going to start off with Cherry. So, Cherry. So, tell the people your name, your preferred pronoun, and why you're famous.
Why am I famous? I do drag on stream. So I'm a Twitch drag queen streamer all the way from Melbourne. Yay! So I'm definitely like he, she, they, or whatever you want to call me, alien, that's totally fine.
The whole spectrum.
So what games do I play? I play a lot of JRPGs, a lot of story games, a lot of shooter games, but like I'm getting over it, to be honest. But yeah, it's been pretty good.
Cool. Next.
Hi everyone, I'm Ricky Kudo. You might know me as Shinya OCE. I'm, I guess, famous for being a lead administrator from a tournament organizer called Let's Play Live. I work down in Auckland, and I typically stream Hearthstone. So, yeah. Oh, and my preferred pronouns are just whatever, really. He, him, whatever.
Spectrum again. Cool.
Hi, my name is Marcus_Starsound. I'm also Melbourne based, and what I'm probably most well known for is from my my dancing streams that I always like to do in the weekend. Some may or may not have seen me enforcing downstairs on the dance stage there, so you may not have seen me dance there. But I also do like to do a lot of variety stuff, such as a lot of RPGs, a lot of shooters. I like to keep it a bit of a mixed bag there, so in a good way, not in like a bad way, really. Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
I'm Morphe. I'm bisexual. I came out to my family a while ago. Not all of them, but yeah. What am I supposed to be answering? Shit.
And your preferred pronouns? What you're famous for on Twitch?
She, her, and a bit of everything, really.
She's a variety streamer. And last but not least.
Hi, my name's Benny Barricades. My drag persona, though, is Any Crevice. And my preferred pronouns are they, them. So I'm a non-binary, gender-fluid drag queen. I actually started out streaming FIFA on Twitch, and I still kind of play that sometimes, but nowadays I play a variety of games like Apex, and games with friends, I guess. Yeah. And I have just started doing my drag on Twitch, so yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, so I'm going to just be asking the group a couple of questions in terms of all the stuff related to streaming, and we're going to see what their thoughts are in regards to all of those. So the first question I have is, what are the major issues that you have being an LGBTQIA plus streamer?
Ooh.
Big one to start with.
Because I do drag on stream, people always assume that I'm like trans or anything, which I'm not, and trans people are absolutely beautiful people. But like when people come in and think that I'm an actual woman, like really? Don't try and like I'm a woman, like yes, but like I'm not like I'm not biologically a woman, and I just don't know. It sort of rubs me the wrong way a little bit, but you sort of just flick them off. They're just trolls. They're just trolls.
I think on top of that, there are a lot of people that I find on Twitch and everywhere on Twitter and everything. They're a little bit uneducated with a lot of things LGBTQ plus wise, IA as well. And yeah, I think it's in our position to educate all these people that are uneducated, whether if they're ignorant or whether they're just purely uneducated on the matter. And yeah, I think it's important for us to do so.
Because I don't know if you guys struggle with this, but I have people come into my stream and be like, hey, you're good looking. And I'm like, you right?
That's happened to me a couple of times, actually.
For me, it's not necessarily an issue, but I don't know. For some people, it might be like getting unwanted attention. It's like people come in and just say things like, oh, what are you doing tonight?
I never get that.
How do you not?
Sorry.
I really don't.
I'm actually jealous. One issue I have actually is because I recently came out as non-binary like 3-4 months ago, and I had to go through that process of like informing people that I'd changed my pronouns and all of that. And one thing we have on our Discord is like the pronoun thing. So when you click on people's profile, it says the pronouns, and you don't have to like explain it and come out as non-binary a million times on stream. Yeah. If anyone here from Twitch is here, maybe you can add like a pronoun thing when you click on your profile. So then I don't have to explain every time that I'm they, them. But it's kind of also like a blessing as well, because people don't see you. So you can, you don't really get clocked as much, I guess.
We do actually want to say thank you also to PAX this year for letting us have the pronoun stickers on our badges this time, which is really lovely.
Yeah. Some of the things that I have happened to me occasionally is I have people that come in and say things like, oh, like, you're gay, that's so unnatural, and all this other kind of thing. I think one of the things that was quite funny for me is when someone may mention, you're gay, like, that's, like, don't you want to be with chicks? And I'm like, well, I don't want to be with chicks. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to meet my woman sis, but as friends, not as a little more.
Somebody actually whispered to me, saying something like that. Like, they didn't come on my chat or anything, but they were just giving me like, I don't know, like 2-3 paragraphs worth of like saying like, oh, you know what, if you want to, I can find you like a girl, and you can just like, girl, no, just no.
It's like they don't quite understand this whole idea of, yeah, I'm gay, but doesn't that up your chances of getting with someone else? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm not after the same thing you're after. So, like, doesn't that usually mean more for you? Obviously, with the way that you approach me, probably not. I'd love you there. But that's the sort of that's the sort of stuff that I have had to deal with before in the past. And I've got a bit of a thick skin, so I don't really care too much about it. But it's really difficult for a lot of other people when you get hit with a lot of abuse saying things like you're ugly, you're disgusting, you're wrong, you're incorrect, and all that kind of stuff. How do you guys deal with that?
Well, first of all, mods help, absolutely. Second of all, did you guys want to take it?
Yeah, I agree with the mods bit most of the time.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen
absolutely.
it. I'm like, what just happened there? They're like, oh, I'll message you, and I'm like, okay. I don't see it, so yeah.
Thankfully, my mod is like sitting right there. But shout out, hello, hi. So usually, what happens with my mods, they always see it and they delete it straight away, and they usually like tell me what it is that these people have said. Usually, most of the time, I don't even look at chat. Sometimes, unless
Wow.
I'm like,
Very streaming.
Wow! I need to throw more weird bits at you then, do I?
yes.
Yes.
I'm pretty quick to use the bad hammer. Like, unless I have some witty comeback like
same.
right in my brain, like I just ban because like it's not worth my time and my hassle. And there's probably like nicer people in my chat to talk to. So, but I have found that the LGBTI tag on Twitch means that people who want to come in just to troll people will search through that tag deliberately and go from stream to stream. Like they'll pop up in my stream, then they'll pop up in Wolfie's stream, and or like
And then you come in and ban them.
yeah, exactly.
Because I think like one of the things that we struggle with and that I see happen quite a lot is you get a lot of abuse targeted at you for being a part of a minority community. And it can be really difficult dealing with that. It can be really difficult when you have so many people message you this stuff over and over again. And sometimes you shrug it off, even though like I've got quite thick skin. There have been some times where it's affected me quite deeply, and I've had to talk with some people about it. So one of my coping mechanisms is that when it gets to be too much, I pull back a little bit and I speak with some of my IRL friends. Like I go out and have coffee or something like that. I'm like, nah, screw this. Don't like any of you. And go like to my friend and have like a big sort of like massive cry, even though I don't cry. Like literally my ducts have been dry for like years. So like, but usually I go to my friends and say, hey, look, this is what I'm struggling with. This is so difficult. I really don't know how to sort of take this. And just the simple fact of having someone who can listen to you, I think really makes a big, huge difference, Joe. It does. Cool. So there's some of the things that we sort of, some of the coping mechanisms that we have and stuff like that. Do you find that like you share a lot of this stuff with other streamers as well? Like you talk about it with them?
I think most of the time I just talk to it with my IRL friends. I think it's really important to talk about those issues with your friends and like sort them out. I think it's really bad to just have it all to yourself and have it simmer and then turn into like a ball of hate that you run people over with. Been there, done that.
It's not GTA. It's
Yeah,
GTA.
it's really important to chat to people, whoever that person is.
Cool. What about people who come into your stream who are struggling with those issues, with their own personal issues, IRL, about identifying as being LGBTQIA? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've had quite a few who've come into my stream and are like, look, I love being here because this is the only place I feel accepted. How do you deal with that?
It's a bit of a heavy question. You guys?
Kind of interesting because that hasn't really happened to me so much. I feel like I do identify myself as gay and everything, but it's sometimes I don't. I feel like that's one of those times where I don't come off so strongly as gay. Do you know what I mean? Like I may. Like when you look at me and you hear me speak, some people might think that I don't really look or act as if I'm like gay or something like that. Like they would have to ask me like, hey, are you this or this? And it's kind of hard for me to really talk. Just to talk about it a really bit because sometimes I just don't come across as like that,
Yeah, so for anyone else who's sort of in that same boat too, how would you approach that situation?
I've actually had that before. Some kids have actually come up. These are like probably 21 or 18-year-old kids that come to my stream. I've actually asked them to like look up Courtney Act's like videos. Like she explains how to be like just be yourself. Be yourself 100%. But if you're not ready, don't be. Like it's up to you whether or not you want to be ready or not.
I think it's,
Especially if you're if you've got like a conservative family, you sort of don't want to. If you feel safe in my stream, that's great. Woohoo! That's great because it definitely like boosts everybody else up for you being here, because you sort of explore your sexuality. It's sort of like, okay, if this person's so strong in their stream and they're doing drag like me, they just look at me and they go, I want to be that strong person that's always on their stream, living their best life. And I think for me, just doing what I do helps. If it helps one person, that's even better. That's even better.
I actually had the example in reverse, I guess. I think I came out as non-binary first and foremost to some other streamers in their streams, because I've been out as bisexual since I was like 20, 21, but this is like super new for me, like this year. And there's another streamer called Kiki on Twitch, and she has a thing on Sundays, like confessional Sundays, where you put in a confession, and like it's mostly anonymous, but some people choose to like kind of tag their name, and I use that kind of as to say I think I might be non-binary, I'm not sure what this means. And like before I even like I spoke to my partner about it, but I hadn't really come out to anyone else. So being able to chat in people's streams about that and finding other non-binary people in other people's chats has been super useful for me, and really affirming, because there's lots of different ways to be non-binary and trans.
I think it's really just like a self journey. Like no one can really be like, I think you're lesbian, or I think you're gay. It's really just like a journey that you take and embark for yourself. And there's really no like pressure to like sort that stuff out. Because I have a lot of friends that come to me and say like, Ricky, I came out to my parents like too early, or I think I'm coming out too late, therefore I shouldn't come out. And I feel like that's really tragic and really sad, because there's no set date or like age where you should come out.
Yeah.
I think it's important for everyone, straight people included, and everyone on the spectrum to understand that there is no rush to anything. So
I think when I came out I was about 18, and I don't know how I did it, because my family is Christian. They're very judgy sometimes. They're not so much now, but they were. I just looked at my mum and I said, I think I'm in love with my best friend, and my best friend was a girl at the time, so it was no more sleepovers for me.
Oh wow,
but,
really? Like you weren't allowed to sleep over at their house after that?
No, none of that, no. Not all of my family knows that I'm bi, but that's for my own sanity. I don't want to be judged, so, for my own mental health and all that, I don't, no. Yeah.
You don't know anyone to come out to? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
The reason why I ask is because actually not too long ago, probably about a couple of weeks ago, someone hit me up in my DMs, and they said, hey, I just wanted to say thank you. And I was like, oh, what'd I do? And I was like, what? Yes, sure, you're welcome. What did I do? And then they said, hey, so you may not know this, but there've been quite a few times where I've actually felt like killing myself, just because my situation is just that bad. And it kind of floored me a little bit. I was like, oh, that's heavy. I was like, okay, I'm not sure if you should be telling me this, but like, sure, continue. And then they're like, so I have, like, when it's gotten to that point, I've just come along and just been in your stream and just enjoyed chatting with you and with your community and everything like that, and that's what's got me through it. And I think one of the things we sometimes forget as streamers is that that's what we do for other people, is we provide a space where we can be ourselves and we can enjoy as much as we want, do whatever we want. It's a cool thing. But the flow-on effect from that is quite powerful, especially in our community, where we have kids who come up to us and literally say, hey, thank you for helping to stay alive. It's quite a big one. So, pulling it back to the more personal side of things. So, what are the everyday struggles that you guys have when it comes to being LGBTQIA? And this is not just in streaming, but like IRL stuff too. For those of you who don't know, IRL means in real life.
So for me growing up, I actually had a very accepting family. But when I came out when I was like 16 years old, on Facebook of all things.
Ooh.
And so my mum was the first one to know. Like she actually questioned me because I posted on Facebook as a what do you call it? Like it's complicated relationship, and she was like, "Oh my god, are you gay?" I'm like, "Yes." And so that's just the snowball effect. And my dad, he was a bit apprehensive for like 2 weeks. I remember 2 weeks, and he had a full-on like turnaround. He was so fully accepting up to that point. He came to like my 21st birthday to the Greyhound, which is not there anymore. I wish it was still around. He's so fully accepting. My family is. I'm very lucky to have an accepting family of me and what I do. It's definitely something that I don't ever think that I would ever have if it wasn't for them. Yeah.
Right. Like Cherry, I'm very lucky and very grateful to have parents that are very accepting of me. And they actually found out, it was really embarrassing, they actually found out through a friend of mine who accidentally slipped and said that I was gay. And so my mom texted me straight after saying, like, "Oh my god, Ricky, are you gay?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she told me she was really upset. And when she sent me that text, I nearly crapped myself. And I asked her, "Why are you upset?" And she said, "It's because you didn't tell me first." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but yes, I'm gay." And yeah, that was how she found out. And then she asked me if she could tell my sister, and I was fine with that. And I was like, "You can tell anyone. You can just honestly, like, I think after my mom knowing that I was gay, I was just like, just tell the world. I'm like, just shoot it out everywhere." So yeah, back to family situations and struggles as well. My struggles come from, I would like to think I'm very empathetic in the way that when I see other kids younger than me like struggling with their sexuality, it hurts me. And especially if they don't have parents that aren't accepting or very tolerant, I'm very like, I feel their struggle, and so their struggle is my struggle, and so I try to, use my position as a voice to, kind of raise these issues and try and educate at least all these other people that don't really know what's going on. And yeah, that's me.
So for my coming out, I think it was like about a month before I turned 21, I would say. I feel like I was at a phase where I was just not really. I was really like questioning myself, because at the time I was doing full-time dance here in the city, and I was working with boys where like half of them were already fully out, and I was just I was already struggling with it when I was in high school, and it was one of those brain cramps where I'm just there thinking like, oh, what am I doing? Who am I? Who am I truly? I came out to my best friend first. I felt like that because I felt like I trusted him first, and his first words were, "Listen, I knew why you were gay since year 12," and I was like, "Okay, thanks." I was expecting a bit of a more dramatic reaction, but okay. Then I was like having one of those mornings when I went to the ministry, and then they said, the coordinators were just asking me, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need to talk?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm just having those days." So it's just, and they said, "Listen, why don't you take a day off?" And I took a day off, and I went home, and I was like in my room playing games, and then Mum walks in. It's like, "Why are you home so early?" And yeah, I basically just said, "Hey, Mum, listen, I'm gay," and it turns out that they kind of had an idea that I was already, and it's so I didn't want to be
Okay.
this person. I didn't want to get tearful here. But yeah, it's I was very lucky that they were very accepting and supportive of it.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I'm just. And yeah, basically I decided to open it just myself to post it on socials, on Instagram and Facebook, and everyone was very loving and supportive of that, and I was like very, very happy with that. So.
You're gonna make me cry.
I didn't want this to be so emotional, but yeah, I feel like since then, like, I don't think I've really encountered so much of hate, like, not in the real world or in streaming wise either. Like, there are, like, I don't know, for me it's always happened, like, once a time when someone just comes, like, shut the F up, you homo, and, like, bad. Like,
It's a very satisfying feeling.
Absolutely. The beauty about online is how you can just easily just ban them and you don't have to ever talk to them again. That's how it kind of works easily. But yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
What was a bit again?
So the question is, what are your struggles being LGBTQIA+?
My mind's blanking right now, I'm sorry.
Benny, did you want to share a story?
You can think about it.
Other than getting my makeup right, that's just like, yeah, Cherry had to help me fix my like wig because it was like slipping off this morning. It was really, I spent a lot of time before I came out like thinking that it would be a lot more difficult than it actually was. I thought like the idea of me kind of walking around in public in women's clothes, and like I thought I would get like so much more like reaction than I did. And like for the most part, like I'm similar to Marcus, like you spend a lot of time thinking about kind of that moment of saying you are, and then actually people were like super supportive. And I had a lot of people come up to me and they're like, yeah, I didn't think him pronouns suited you at all. I kind of already had an inkling that you were like this. And mostly people have been really lovely. The main struggle I've had is actually within the queer community itself. Being bisexual, the amount of like weirdly dismissive or patronizing comments I've received, especially because my partner is a woman, basically feeling for a long time that I wasn't part of the queer community because like we're both bisexual people, and like there's been times where I've gone to a gay bar and they're like, and I've said I'm bisexual, and like I've gotten the eye rolls, and they're like, so it's like the straight community says that bisexual people are just really gay people in disguise, and a lot of the queer community will often say that you're just actually straight.
You're either straight or you're lesbian. It's so annoying to hear.
Yeah, I'm like, sexuality is fluid, gender is fluid, it's all fluid, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my main struggle was, I dated a guy for about 3 years, and he would always say, you haven't been with a woman properly, you're not really bi, you're just straight. And I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm attracted to women, but I don't know how far that attraction goes.
Mm.
Like, I don't, I don't know. But, yeah.
My own personal struggle with everything, I think, was at the end of the day, like in hindsight, I guess I kind of knew, but I came out late. So I came out when I was about, I think 24, because my whole life I never felt like I was gay, but I also never felt that I was straight either. It was really difficult because growing up I had a lot of people say, you're gay, you're gay. I'm like, but I'm not attracted to men.
But I'm also not attracted to women either. And when you hear so many people say that over and over and over and over again, you start to question, okay, if I don't like girls, does that mean I'm gay? If I don't like guys either, like, what does that make me? And that was one of my biggest struggles. And I had a relationship with a girl to the point where I could see myself married, kids and everything like that. And for me, it just was kind of like an affirmation, yeah, I am straight. And things didn't work out. And the bitch is lonely. So, no, I'm just kidding. And then after I came out, I just felt like a whole weight was lifted off my shoulder. Like I wasn't constantly questioning or wondering what the hell I was. And I grew into it very quickly as well. Like it did a whole complete reverse thing. It didn't actually detract from me or anything like that. It actually empowered me. It actually, through realizing that I was gay and taking ownership of it, it was like I took a part of myself and I realized who that part was, and that strengthened me considerably. To the point where in my own personal IRL situation at work, my workmates absolutely love me. Every single one of them. And I'm like, you're right. And they celebrate daily. This doesn't happen in everywhere too, but they celebrate who I am, and the people who don't are irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care. I don't really spend much time caring. But I am more often than not celebrated. But it was my own personal journey, and it didn't happen when I was young. It was one of those things where eventually I discovered who I was, and I was like, okay, cool, this is my time now. So since coming out, what has become a strength for you guys?
Being able to do this every single fucking Saturday.
Yeah.
Every Saturday in my stream, I always do drag, and it feels so empowering to like put on a wig, put on some makeup, and put on a dress for like every Saturday. It just feels so good. It's really like when I started drag, it's like coming out was one part that definitely lifted a weight off my shoulders. But when I started drag, something clicked even more, and like I knew this was something I was supposed to do. But yeah, like especially with RuPaul's Drag Race being a thing now, everyone just loves drag. So it's just like the popular thing now. Not that. But yeah, it's for me doing drag, I've had a lot of people compliment on my makeup and my hair skills, and like I just started 2 years ago. Guys, I'm trash. It's fine. It's fine.
You are not trash.
I mean, you're not right. You're right.
Yeah, it's definitely one big strength from coming out from it for sure.
Absolutely. And now when someone is like, ooh, you're gay, I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's just people don't really, like, homophobic people don't really bother me so much anymore. Back in school, I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, but now I'm kind of like, I'm just gay. I'm like, I'm whatever, right? Like, you can call me a lesbian, and I'm completely happy with that.
Stand lesbian.
It's kind of interesting when you think about it. When you do it in high school, and you're just it's almost a. I don't want to. Do I want to say taboo subject when you're in high school? But as soon as you graduate and you're like off to uni or whatever you're doing, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't feel like it's an issue anymore.
It's like no one cares. Like as soon as high school finished, it's like, oh my god.
Exactly.
No one cares about you when you leave high school. All that just leaves.
I think also it's like the older you get, the less crap. Like you don't really care about anything anymore. Yeah. Did you guys move?
I get my strength from other drag queens, like Cherry.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Hell yeah.
Why?
Because you can show me what to do. And like, I have found like going out now in drag, or just going out as me, my best version of me in a cute skirt or whatever, and I go to like a bar, and like honestly when I presented myself as a boy, like I could count on one hand the amount of times someone told me I was beautiful or I looked great, and now I mean it's a little bit vain, sure, but like I can go out and like people will like go, oh my god, you look so amazing, I love your hair. I've like made friends in women's toilets who they were kind of drunk, so they thought my wig was real, and then so they were like, oh my god, how did you get your hair so curly? I was like, it's not real. And then they told me I had lipstick on my teeth.
Oh,
But they pointed me out. Yeah, I appreciated that. Yeah.
Oh no.
But other people give me strength, I think, is the, yeah.
I don't have a specific inspiration. I just get inspired by so many different people out there, streamers and non-streamers alike. Like, I can't... It'd be a huge list if I wrote it all down. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I agree with Cherry being inspiring, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my
We
god,
agree.
guys.
We love you.
Oh, no, not this attention, I can't.
Yes, you can.
It's all about Cherry. We love Cherry Street.
Cherry Stan.
Yeah. We almost called the
Panel, yes,
panel Cherry and Friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cherry famous. Live up to it. Come on, you got this.
that wasn't actually.
not like a sugar daddy.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry.
I need a
Too
sugar daddy
early.
first, and I get famous.
I mean, I think we all need a sugar daddy, let's be honest. I do.
Because
You're right. You're right.
I'm just a sugar mama. That's cool too.
Everything like this every Saturday makes you poor for life. It's an expensive hobby, trust me.
Oh my god.
Alrighty, so we're going to pull it back to streaming again really quickly.
Yep.
So we're going to think about like anyone who's new to streaming or who's thinking about streaming or anything like that, or who is in the middle of streaming. What advice or what tips do you guys have to offer for them?
Be patient. It's a
Yes.
long road. It is a long, long road. You'll have days where you just want to quit all the time. Especially like you do get burnt out, and you really, really need to like take time for yourself as well. And also just have fun with it. If you're not having fun, then your viewers are not having fun. Your viewers are getting bored. If you're playing a game and you're just looking bored, the viewer's going to leave. If you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself and you're being active in the chat, which I am, by the way, I'm going to clarify.
Sure.
Alright, okay.
It's people will respond in a really, really positive way for sure.
I think one way you could definitely, of course, have fun is like if you're playing like I don't know, Dead by Daylight or Apex. Have other people with you.
Mhm.
Like at least you have at least some other people to at least talk to and not just the chat.
Yeah,
Like,
because then you're not just being quiet and sitting there staring at your game,
of course.
like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Shit.
still watch you, and I give you videos.
Yes, you do.
They are the
Do we need to
funniest.
talk about the biddies?
Can
I
we?
don't even want to.
Can we? It is the funniest
You have
thing
to leave
ever.
out the really
What I do is
lewd
I send her
ones.
videos, but with the messages, I send her like really bad like names, like really like awful, disgusting pun names, and it repeats over and over and over for a good 2 minutes.
I'm just sitting there trying not to like cry because this is so funny.
Like what was the one of them? I think it was.
I did it to you too. Yeah, that's
I
right.
do it to
Well,
everybody.
I think the one that you said on her stream when we were playing Apex together. I think one of them was remember when this year we had those bleed purple
Oh
bit
no,
thingos?
bleed purple.
That you did bleed purple butthole,
Yeah.
and you did that over and over and
Yes.
over again because you had text to speech.
Bleeding butthole.
It's bleeding.
Purple heart
in my
one.
bedroom watching you guys react to it. I was just like, I've done my
And then
best today.
I did it.
Bit, so you guys can't like.
And then I did it to Cherry and sent it to Marcus. Marcus plays on his stream, he's just dying, and I'm like, oh my god,
I was trying so hard not to piss myself laughing. It was
so good.
oh my god.
One major tip that I have for people who are new to streaming or thinking about streaming is do not spend money on it. When you are first starting out, do not spend any damn money on it. If you have a PlayStation 4, it has a live stream button. Tap that and do that for a little bit. If you have a computer, download OBS or StreamYard OBS or something like that and give it a go. Don't buy a new web camera, don't buy a new microphone, don't buy any of that stuff. Don't buy a capture card or anything, don't upgrade your computer. Because what you may find is, here's the thing, here's the reality. Streaming is not for everyone. And if you get into it and you're like, I spent like $3 grand on all this crap,
Jesus.
and I don't need it no more, That's a very big pitfall, because right now we're in an age where streaming is becoming very popular and it's becoming commodity, and all these kids and everyone else is starting to think, oh, I need the latest, I need the greatest. No, you don't. When you're starting, just take it easy. Don't invest a whole lot into it. Take it easy. If you find that you're enjoying it, or if it's something that you're becoming passionate about, then start to make those incremental updates, but don't do it all in one go.
I think on top of that, when you're just starting out your stream, I think it's so important to network with other people. Like network on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever, on Grindr, whatever, on Mingle, right? Okay.
You had to bring up Grindr.
Grindr, really?
I actually have my Twitch on my Grindr. I'm like me right now.
Wait, does that work?
But yes, I think
yes, has it worked? I need to know. No, really.
Networking is very important. I think reaching out to people. I think joining communities. Like Discord, there's so many Discord servers out there that you can join and chat with.
Don't join too many Discord servers. Pro tip right there.
But Discord has that folder thing you can do now.
It does now, yes.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't open any of the folders, let's be honest.
Because that's all full.
Yeah.
Very important when you're just starting out.
And when we're talking networking, we don't mean, follow me, come follow me, come follow me.
Oh, look, you followed me on Twitter. Here's my link.
That's to me.
Oh, you want to follow me? Oh, sorry, you can't follow me. Sorry. Sorry, I had to do it.
I kind of think of it like you're trying to make friends with people, not because you necessarily want to get something out of it, but because you are genuinely interested in the person and you really want to connect with them. When that happens, you will get the flow-on effect. You'll naturally want to support each other, so it's a natural progression. But none of this like, I'm a streamer, I'm going to go over to my Twitter, and all you're going to see is that I'm live. If I see pages and pages of that, oh honey, that's not how social media.
I generally won't follow someone if all their Twitter is just I'm live. Or like 5 million hashtags and at everybody pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, no. Mount.
I also don't follow. I follow a heap of people on Twitch, but it's not like when I want to network or whatever. I'm like watching 10 streams all the time. I've got them all open or whatever. I have like a few close streams that I like to watch, and I kind of hang out with those communities and in those Discords and kind of focus on kind of building quality relationships, not as many relationships or meeting as many people as possible, because I think, if you do that, you kind of, one is kind of disingenuous because you're just trying to do it to get something out of it. But like the other thing is, you will quite easily be forgotten when you're doing that. Whereas like actually meeting some people and actually like at PAX, like meeting them in real life and all of that are like, those are some of the best things. Like you get that a lot more. I get a lot more out of that than I would say, I guess, like getting like heaps of subs or I guess like friends are better than subs, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
But I think it was Bob Ross who once said, I will be a lot happier crying in my Mercedes Benz. So, would you like that?
Yeah, I'm not saying don't sub to me. Yeah. Have you heard of Twitch Prime?
Okay, next topic. Next question.
Oh my god.
So, sort of going back to just sort of, just to one final thing to sort of round this up for. So, where do you get your inspiration from?
For me, I get a lot of my inspiration from my Twitch. No, what?
Yourself doesn't count.
No. So, I get a lot of inspiration from my drag queen sisters in America, like Dia, Elix, fucking Ophelia, all those queens. If you're gonna follow them, please, they're amazing queens. I'm a part of the stream team as well. Like, they're just amazing at what they do, and they inspire me every single week. Like, especially 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago at TwitchCon when they're doing their own panel, I was just like, why am I not there? I was feeling a little bit out, but again, I watched it and I was just like, I'm so proud of them. And they have so much my inspiration for continuing, like, being drag queen, like one of the biggest drag queens on Twitch. It's for Australia, that's a pretty big thing, and I'm actually quite proud of myself to do that. I'm very, very proud of myself, especially being so inspirational with those things. Yeah. We'll have to go through a little bit more quickly.
Okay, my biggest inspiration is, apart from Cherry, it'll probably be probably everyone in the community, I guess. Everyone that's out there, yeah, everyone that's out there. And oh yes, how can I forget? My partner, my biggest inspiration. Yeah. So, yeah.
Cute.
I pretty much just like I follow my friends on Twitch. I follow like some of them are in this room right now, and I always like to hang around their streams. I'll watch what they do, and I sometimes get inspired by how they want to keep their community positive and how they want to just make sure that they want to like get them to come back. Like, listen, this is a safe space. Like, hi, you can talk to me and all that. I always get inspired by those kinds of people, and I really like to like get up there. Like, I'm on my way at least.
Kind of already talked about inspiration.
Yeah, we
Still the
kind
same answer.
Biggest inspiration, my very lovely partner, who's been super supportive through my recent coming out, has been really great. And I know that not everyone is kind of blessed to have like a partner that sticks with them like through that. So I feel very lucky about that. And the other